Oh, an email from my friend Luann, the Countess from the Real Housewives of New York City. Let's see what she's up to. Hi, Jason. I'm here at the farmer's market in the Hamptons, and I've come across some beautiful looking mission figs. What can I do with them? By the way, I'll be in later today for lunch. Ciao, Luann. Wow, what a great idea. I love mission figs. I'm gonna head to the market, pick up some figs, and create a very special dish for her. I'm Executive Chef Jason Tillman, and this is The Market Man. So here we are in Grand Central Market, one of my favorite places in the world. The sights, the sounds, the freshness, the farm-to-table ingredients. It's just wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. So I spoke to my friend Luann earlier in the day, and she was at her local farmer's market in the Hamptons. And she had suggested a dish using black mission figs. Got me very excited and very inspired. So we're here in the market, and what we're gonna do is we're gonna get some of those black mission figs. Look at these figs. You're gonna look for texture, you're gonna look for the freshness, the smell, the soft touch, the ripeness. These are beautiful. And we're gonna build a dish using these mission figs. We're gonna also, I think, because it's so beautiful and it's in season right now, we're gonna use red seedless watermelon. It's a great accoutrement to the black mission figs. They really, really work really well together. So we have our watermelon, we have our black mission figs. We're gonna continue to shop around and continue to build this dish. So we have our mission figs, we have our watermelon, and we're looking for something to tie this dish together. Cheese, perfect, perfect. We have some mozzarella, we have some smoked mozzarella. Perfect, a little burrata cheese. It's cream-filled mozzarella cheese. I really think this is gonna tie this dish together. We have the crunchiness from the watermelon, the sweetness from the figs, this creaminess from the burrata, and I think I have some prosciutto di Parma back at the restaurant for our salty component. Let's head back to the restaurant and build this baby. Welcome to my kitchen. We just got back from the market, and what I've decided to make for Luann is a black mission fig and watermelon salad with burrata mozzarella cheese and prosciutto di Parma. Let's get started. So first of all, we have our burrata mozzarella cheese, which is a cream-filled cheese. Soft, fragrant, very fresh, full of flavor. We're gonna use this cheese as the base for our salad. Look at this, it's so beautiful, so fragrant. I mean, you can smell it. I want you to smell this cheese. Oh, so wonderful. So we're gonna use this first as our base, and we're gonna go ahead and put that on the plate, just like that. Look how beautiful that cheese is. If you guys could only smell how wonderful this cheese smells. All right, so the next thing we're gonna do is after we have our burrata on the plate, is we're gonna take our fresh black mission figs, and as we saw at the market, they're very tender, very ripe. We're gonna go ahead and cut the ends off. Look at that, so easy, so simple. Ends off. We're gonna cut them in quarters. And look at how beautiful. Look at the color. Look at the color. It smells so sweet. You can almost smell the sweetness in these figs. And I like to cut them in quarters. In this salad, we're gonna use 2 mission figs. And you can use as many as you like, depending on how many people you're gonna be serving. But I think 2 mission figs is more than enough. It's gonna be served for either an appetizer or for a party or for an individual portion. If you use an individual portion, lessen the amount. A little bit more for more people. Makes sense. Okay, so we're gonna go ahead and put those on the plate. And as I'm a chef, so I want to be very artistic. So I can add elevation, I can not elevation, so I want to add some elevation to it. And so we have our figs. So easy, these figs are so beautiful. Okay, so the next component of our salad is going to be our watermelon. So right now we have our base with our creamy burrata, the texture. We got the sweetness from the figs. Now we're going to add a little bit of watermelon and some crunch. All right, we're going to go ahead and cut this watermelon pretty. What I like to do is, you can cut the rind off first if you'd like, but I like to just cut it like this first. Cut the rinds off. Now you can use this rind. Pickled watermelon rind is absolutely phenomenal. It's really, really good with, say, shellfish like an oyster, or for some kind of a shrimp cocktail, but as long as it's pickled. But it is a really, really good accoutrement to a lot of different things. Okay, so what we're gonna do now is we have our watermelon, and I like to make dices for the watermelon, all right? And then we're gonna go ahead and add the watermelon to this plate. The next element of our dish is prosciutto di Parma, okay? You can pick up prosciutto di Parma at your local butcher, have him slice it nice and thin. It's the saltiness of our dish. It's a cured ham. Some of them come from Spain, some of them come from Italy. They come from all over the world. It's gonna add a lot of flavor and a lot of depth to our dish. And what we're gonna do now is we're gonna go ahead and fan these over top. We don't want to hide everything that we have on our plate. So when we arrange this prosciutto di Parma, we want to add it, but we don't want to add too much because it could be a little bit powerful. We want to make sure that we're not hiding the flavors of all the other ingredients that we have on our plate. So just like that. That is so beautiful. Oh, so beautiful. So far, if you can't do this, oh my God, you have problems. So easy, so simple. The next step in this dish is we're gonna add and make a light vinaigrette. And when I say vinaigrette, a lot of times people get very, very intimidated and they say, oh, well, chef, I don't really know how to do vinaigrette. We're gonna make a broken vinaigrette, which is so, so simple. We're gonna start with a little bit of red wine vinegar, and we're gonna go ahead and just drizzle a little bit of that red wine vinegar over top. Very easy, and it's a broken vinaigrette, so we don't have to worry about it being emulsified and all creamy. Then we're gonna add a little bit of extra virgin olive oil, just like that. Look at how these flavors, everything on this plate so far is easy, simple, and delicious. Then we're gonna add a little bit of our salt. This is a kosher sea salt, and what we're doing with the simplicity of this dish is the salt is an enhancer. It's gonna bring out that natural flavor in the watermelon, in the burrata cheese, in the figs. It's gonna kind of bring it all out. So it's drawing out the moisture in the natural ingredient. Then we're gonna add some fresh chopped chives. Really simple for this dish. We're gonna add a little bit of chive-infused oil because I think it's just another layer, another component that's gonna add a little freshness to this salad. If you don't have chive oil, you can pick it up, or if you don't know how to make it, it's really simple. Chives, blender, extra virgin olive oil, puree it, and then strain it. If you don't have it or don't want to do it, you can pick it up at your local gourmet food mart. They have herb-infused oils, easy. Next step, after we've hit it with that chive oil, we're gonna hit it with a little bit of fresh cracked black pepper. I like...
Chef, your guest is here.
Oh, great. Please see her at table 12, bring her a nice glass of Sancerre, and tell her to get her taste buds ready.
Will do, Chef.
I like black pepper, so I use probably a little bit more than most, but that's completely up to your preference. And we're gonna finish this dish, and yes, I said finish the dish. That's it, it's pretty much done. It's easy, it's so simple, with a little bit of fresh microgreens. And that's it, summertime on a plate. Mission fig and watermelon salad with burrata mozzarella cheese and prosciutto di Parma. Luann is gonna love it. Let's go knock her socks off. Countess.
Hi.
Hey.
Oh my God, that
this.
looks gorgeous.
All right.
Good to see you.
You as well.
Now,
Have a seat.
look at that. It's gorgeous. Those aren't figs, are they?
Yes, they are.
Oh my God, I love that. You are such a sweetheart. I emailed you about figs in the market because, you know, I love figs, but I don't really know what to do with figs besides eat them naturally how they are because they're so good.
Well, that was the thing. You kind of, you had sent that email this morning and you put figs in my mind and I said to myself, oh my God, what a great idea, figs. I love figs.
Well, I love figs too, but I just never know what to do with them, how to prepare
Right.
them. I mean, I love just to eat them like that, like grapes, you know?
That, and you know what? I took that and that's exactly what we did. Eating them like grapes, raw figs. They're sweet, they're easy to handle, they're easy to prepare. So I just went to the market, picked up the figs and kind of took those as the base and built it around the figs. So we have the figs and the watermelon, prosciutto di Parma ham, and burrata mozzarella cheese.
Prosciutto di Parma.
Yep, yep.
I love that.
absolutely,
I
yep.
love, is this kind of like, what would you call this?
I would call this summertime on a plate. It's simple, it's easy, there's no cooking, it's hot. You don't really want to be in the
It's
kitchen
very
in
kind of
the summertime. It's
Mediterranean,
hot.
right?
Yeah,
It's got
it's
all
light.
those Italian,
Oh,
you
yeah.
know, mozzarella and prosciutto,
Yep.
and I love that.
Yep, absolutely. Yep. So I think you should taste it.
I
need
want
you
to taste
tell me-
it.
I
What
need
is
you
all
to tell
this
me.
beautiful green
The
color?
green-
It's so gorgeous.
We used we made a chive vinaigrette, whereas, you know, it's easy. You don't need a chive vinaigrette. You can use any kind of vinaigrette you want. If you want to just straight olive oil, a little bit of red wine vinegar, but you need that acid to kind of cut through things, and you want that vinaigrette, that oil to kind of tie it all together.
Chive vinaigrette.
Yeah, chive vinaigrette. And is
sounds
it a really
sexy.
chive vinaigrette? People say, "Oh my God, vinaigrette's going to be so difficult." It's a little chive, oil, salt and pepper, red wine vinegar, done. Simple. You know, so it's good stuff.
That's amazing.
Well, I'm glad. I think it looks like you like
So
it.
fresh.
Yeah?
I love it.
Well, good.
It's delicious.
So this is something that we put together, and I kind of want a feedback thing. And what do you think? Should we put it on the menu?
Absolutely. I love this. I mean, it's a great summertime dish.
Okay.
I'm actually going to have, you know, a couple of friends over this summer in the Hamptons, and I was thinking that maybe
Nice.
you might come out and help me out a little bit with the farmer's market because, you know, we have all this fresh produce. It's
Right.
so amazing and so many great things. And I figured, you know,
Yeah.
sorry, no pun intended.
Well, listen, it's the lead. Figured, yeah, right? I got figured.
I figured you could help me out, you know, by helping me host a little dinner party and we could hit the farmer's market and really go bananas.
When I read your email and heard farmers market, I have been out to the Hamptons a few times, but never really had enough time. Those are back in my younger days, kind of, you know, not really
those
spending-
Hampton share houses kind of thing?
Those Hampton days, and
Oh,
didn't really
yeah.
have enough time to kind of go to those markets that I saw.
Now you're in a wholly different,
Absolutely.
totally different
Now,
mode.
different place in my life. And so, you know, but growing up in Michigan, we're very familiar with farm stands and corn on the road and all that kind of stuff. So, you know, going out there and being able to see all that wonderful, great produce, I would love to come out.
Oh,
we have a little soiree
Oh.
in the barn.
Oh, I love, you know, I would love that. We have such great
good.
farm stands and
Good,
great,
good.
you know, local produce that, you know, which I use a lot. I try to go from my house to the farm stand to the beach.
Right.
You
Well,
know,
there you go.
and I try to avoid all the big, you know, supermarkets
Right.
and things like that because
Well, why would you want to? Everything's right there. It's
everything
fresh,
is
done.
right there, it's fresh. And
Right.
so, but I think you really need to know how to use all of this, you know,
Right.
all of these fresh produce, things to
Right.
make things that are different. And this
Right.
is certainly something I've never seen and I love
Do you
it.
think? Do you think you could be able to put this together? Absolutely easy, right? Simple.
Yeah.
Right?
It's
Well, good.
delicious. You know what's so great about this dish is you have, you know, the saltiness of the prosciutto and a little bit with the mozzarella.
Right.
And it
Creaminess,
kind of
yep.
and it kind of the fruit with the watermelon and the figs kind of blends in.
Right.
But some people, you know, don't eat meat. Friends of mine
Right.
are vegetarians. So
Right.
what could you replace, do you think, the prosciutto with that would make sense?
I would, if I love prosciutto di Parma.
Me
but,
too.
You know, and if we have to replace it, like, oh my goodness, I guess
Right.
we could.
Yes.
But what I would do is I would use, being into that market, I would use those nice heirloom tomatoes. Some nice heirloom tomatoes. I'd keep the cheese, we'd keep the fig, we'd keep the watermelon, and instead of chive, because I think chive is kind of a little bit powerful, we'd switch it to basil, and we do a basil vinaigrette.
Oh,
Same
I could
style.
totally
and then
imagine
that
basil in
would, yeah,
here.
that would kind of really tie in well with all those ingredients that we just talked about, without the prosciutto di Parma.
So some tomatoes, maybe
Yeah.
a little salt on
Yeah,
that.
salt. Listen, we always put salt on it.
Oh, of
Salt
course.
is an enhancer. It's really going to bring out all the natural flavors and everything. And
I
that's kind of what I'm all about. Is what you're going to do right now. You're going
I
to
love
create
it.
the
I'm
perfect
mixing
bite.
it all together,
Yep,
and you know
yep.
what? It's
A
you
little
know,
bit of
not only-
everything. Yep.
It's really tasty and
Yeah.
fresh, and it looks very pretty for the table, I find.
Well, yeah, that's a good thing too. A lot of people don't understand, and one of the most important things about food is that you eat with your eyes 1st. You got to see it, then you eat with your nose. You got to smell it. You got to look at it. You're smelling it, and that's waking everything
I'm
up.
feeling it.
And those are the same exact
So good.
principles that I think about when we go to the market. People always say, "Oh, what do I look for at the market?" I say, "I don't look for anything. I smell first."
Oh, right.
And we go in there and we're smelling a fresh strawberry right from the farm. Looks beautiful, but it smells even better. And you're like,
Basil.
oh God, it's just phenomenal, phenomenal. It's kind of like your senses are on overload. You're like, oh my goodness, what do I want to do? What do I want to do next? So with your email this morning and hearing about that, I'm like, oh, that's a great idea. Figs.
You're going to
We
be
got the
so
canvas.
sorry that you
Right.
gave me your email.
Oh, that's okay.
Because
That's
I'm going
okay.
to be emailing you all the time. And I can't wait to talk about what we can make if we do a dinner out in the Hamptons. I'm
Absolutely.
really looking forward to that.
Well, good, good.
Because
I'm
it's
very
always
excited.
nice to have your friends who are
Yeah.
chefs at
There
your
you go.
house in the Hamptons. What can I say?
Oh wow, so that's what I'm all about. So a little bit of everything on your fork. You're looking at a little bit of the fig, a little bit of the watermelon, the cheese, and what we're trying to do is create that perfect bite. Basically summertime on a plate. Well, Luann, I'm so glad that you enjoy the dish.
Are
so
you
glad.
kidding?
Yeah,
I
I'm
love
so
this.
glad.
I couldn't be happier. It's
Well,
summer.
you inspire me. I got the idea. I got the idea from you. So tell me a little bit about what's going on with you. How have you been?
Well, you know, I've been great actually. We just finished, you
Mm-hmm.
know, season 5 of the show, and so I've been very busy with that.
Mm-hmm.
I've got Victoria going to college, so that's been, you know,
Freshman. You're gonna have a freshman in
I'm gonna
college.
have a
Are you
freshman
nervous? Are
in
you
college.
excited?
No, you know what? I'm nervous and excited at the
Mm-hmm.
same time because I'm so happy for her that
Uh-huh.
she's going to go to college and study exactly what she loves, which is
Right.
art.
Oh, well.
You know, and she's done with like trigonometry.
Mm-hmm.
Believe me, she's thrilled. And you know, Noel has his
Mm-hmm.
skateboard company. He's still doing his Fancy Fool.
X
stuff.
Games.
What?
X Games. You're gonna have to put him on
You
X
know what?
Games.
He's the kind of guy that he
Yeah.
loves to draw and to create
Yeah.
characters. So I'm sure he's totally an artist too. I have very artistic kids, I must say.
Right.
And myself, I'm becoming artistic too. I'm actually working on a dress line. Do you like this dress?
I do like the dress.
This
It's
is one
beautiful.
of my first
It's
pieces.
summertime. It matches the dish.
Yeah, and you know
It's part of the perfect bite.
it is. It's right.
should throw that in with
match
the
the
food.
salad. It's perfect.
Absolutely.
Anyway, so that's really fun and interesting for me because I get to be creative and I'm working on jewelry too to go with the dresses so that you can take your look from day to night like that.
Oh, that's
so. We're
my
kind
wife
of on the
always
same
says.
page.
My wife always says accessorize, day to night. That's it. Well, that's good. Well, great. I'm
And
very
other
excited.
than that, I'm entertaining a lot, and I have Jacques, who's amazing.
He
and
actually stopped by the other day. We're going to talk to him about. He has some great stuff in his line. He has some great wines.
I know.
And we're going to try to look at some of the stuff that he has. He has a great palette. He has great stuff in his collection. So it's a very exciting thing too.
Oh yeah, Jacques has very good taste.
He's very
in
talented,
wine.
very knowledgeable about his wines. He knows what he's talking about, which is a
Yeah.
good thing.
No, he does. He's great.
Yeah.
He's wonderful. He's got, his French wine. He's
Right.
got his California wine, and so between Jacques and the kids
Mm-hmm.
this summer and doing what I'm doing and working on my new collection, I'm
You're
a
busy.
I'm
You're
a busy
busy.
lady.
You're busy.
But I must say, being in the Hamptons is really nice for me because
Yeah.
I get to really relax and enjoy my house, especially if you're going to be there to help me with my dinner. Yay.
I'm very, very excited. I'm very excited. Listen, it's going to be fun. It's going to be a lot of food like this. Very simple. Summertime.
Love it.
Instead of plates, it's going to be summertime on platters and big farm spreads, corn on the cob. You got the heirloom tomatoes. We're going to do berries, like maybe berry cobblers, something. You got to have a little sweet side too. But everything should be focused around that market out there. We'll go
Now,
out
is
there.
this Jacques wine? Yes.
Yes.
Just say
yes. I guess yes. This is definitely Jacques wine. It has to be Jacques wine.
Of course it's Jacques.
Of course it's Jacques
You,
wine.
you are just so full of
Good.
surprises. You give me this beautiful, beautiful dish, which I must say I would not have thought of on my own. So I love it, and I love what you've done with the figs, which
thank you, thank
which
you.
is something that I love to eat and never quite sure how to prepare them. And you treat me to Jacques wine.
Listen.
I'm a really lucky lady.
The best of the best for the best friend. You have to have the best of the best, right?
thank you, Jason.
Yeah,
Thank you.
nothing but the best.
And
Right?
I must say it's nice having friends that are chefs, friends that are doctors. You know, it's really a nice thing to be able to
Friends
email
that are
your friend.
countesses.
Well, I would have called you, but it was very early in the morning, honey. I didn't want to
know.
wake you up, so
I
I
know.
sent you an email, and I'm amazed how quickly you got back.
Well, it's good. We actually have that. That's the whole thing. That's the point behind Ask Chef Jason, because my family is always asking me questions and always wanting to do different things and always wanting to have ideas. My brother lives in Michigan, and I just caught all this salmon. I went hunting. I was doing this. What can I do with this venison? Because, you know, he's got loads and loads of it. So it's about getting ideas and doing different things. And so that's where it came from. And so I still, you know, I have a lot of people that respond to those and say, listen, chef, what can I do with this? And what can I do with that? Done.
Yeah, I think people, you know, you must get a lot of inspiration from the questions that people ask you about food, right?
Yeah. Well, you know, people always kind of say, well, wouldn't that get, you know, boring, or wouldn't you get annoyed with people? Absolutely not. And I don't not share any of my recipes. Listen, we all know is I can give you the recipe no matter how many times you try it. You're never going to do it the same.
Exactly.
You know, no
I was
matter
just
what.
about
So
to say
why,
that.
Why,
I mean,
why
I
hold
think,
it? You know.
I think you have a very special creative touch, which
Thank you.
you know. I like to cook, and I like,
Right.
you know,
Yeah.
I like to come up with new things, but it's never tasting like this, darling. I mean, it's never tasting this good. So,
Okay.
you know.
I love getting inspiration from you, Countess, from people like you who want to know different things and want to try different things. So it allows me to be creative. It allows me, for lack of, not I want to say guinea pig, but it allows me to practice and to play and
Well,
to kind of,
lucky me.
you know, to kind of use my creativity and try different things. You know, as a chef, you're always trying to create new things, but it's always good to have somebody who knows food and it's very has a great palate to kind of bounce ideas back and forth off.
Are you kidding? I mean, my life revolves around the meal. I mean, for
Okay,
me,
yeah.
there's nothing like thinking about what we're going to have for lunch or dinner,
Yeah.
going to shop for it,
Yeah.
and preparing it.
Yeah.
I mean, that's really, I think that's one of the things that makes life so grand. I mean,
Yeah.
I'm a real foodie.
Yeah.
I love food. I lived all over the world,
Right.
and I really enjoy fresh, delicious,
Yeah.
you know, food that's well prepared. So. So you picked the right guinea pig, honey.
Oh, good, good.
That's all I
and
have
the
to
best looking one, right?
Oh gosh!
See?
Oh, I'm so happy. And then I'll just have to invite a couple of housewives. Now, is there anybody you'd like me not to invite?
I don't want to say anything about that, but I will say I think you have the guest list under control.
I do. I do. I know who I'm inviting. That's
Okay,
for sure.
great.
So I am so glad I have you programmed into my phone now.
Good.
And you know, there's definitely going to be times where I'm going to need some more advice
Absolutely,
about
yep.
you know what to make in the summer because I'm always trying to come up with new and
Absolutely.
fresh ideas. So don't be surprised if you hear from me
Well, I
very,
look forward
very
to it.
soon.
I look forward to it. Well, good. Well, listen, thank you so much. Thank you so much for joining us.
Oh, it was
and
it was
experimenting. And we
great.
created our perfect bite, which is summertime on a plate.
Love seeing you as always.
Thank
Always
you.
nice.
Thank you.
Wow.
I'm Executive Chef Jason Tillman, and we'll see you next time on The Market Man.